This game has completely blown me away since the day I started playing. It is an absolute testament to what game design should look like, and the results are astonishing. Hello everyone, my name is Fletcher from PSX Cloud, and today I am bringing you my review in progress for Elden Ring. I have had access to the game now for just over a week and have currently put in around 30 hours of game time, and my review today will be completely spoiler free. The gameplay you will see today as well will be only including the first 2 areas of the game to make sure there aren't any spoilers. To me, I have not as much experience as others when playing a FromSoftware game, however I cannot describe in words how excellent this game is. My recent playthrough of Sekiro and Demon's Souls have not only opened my eyes to the genre, but have given me a sense of how much FromSoftware are masters of their craft. When I initially watched the reveal of Elden Ring and the buzz around George R.R. Martin being part of crafting this game, I was hooked. Is this the best FromSoftware game to ever be released? It does seem hard to grasp how they could have improved, however they have certainly done the job with Elden Ring. What I can certainly say to simplify the nature of the game is that it is Dark Souls meets Breath of the Wild. The DNA of Dark Souls is ever present through Elden Ring, and you could even say that this is what Dark Souls 4 could have looked like, however it entwines the best of the world design and craft from Breath of the Wild. No longer are you walking through a mishmash of interwoven paths and long corridors, but are instead greeted with ominous mountains, dark fortresses, and descend into poison swamps. You can now go wandering in any direction to find something to kill or get killed, and it's fantastic. You will come across a new horse called Torrent. Torrent exists as a way to traverse the huge scope of the world, as walking will not take you far. Due to the nature of how large the world is, a lot of threats are now optional and require you to explore and grind up to level your gear, weapons and magic before taking some of the world's enemies. For example, you will come across a towering cavalry knight towards the beginning of the game, but you'll be so underleveled that you will die and die again thinking, how can I do this? As time goes on, you'll realise that you can simply sneak past the enemy to explore different areas and come back when you like. This is certainly a change in the usual Souls-like formula, but it creates one that is better in my opinion. You will come across a lot of reviewers and media outlets saying the same thing in regards to accessibility. This is the most accessible FromSoftware game that I have ever played, and in turn makes for a great treat for newcomers. You will find that enemies no longer level according to your stats, but instead stay the same throughout the game. Many times I would skip an enemy due to her being so underpowered, to only level up later in the game and then come back to make mincemeat of that same opponent. As someone who has already played some of the FromSoftware games, I found myself getting into the combat relatively easily. You have the same stabbing, swishing, blocking and dodging that you will know and love, however there's a few quality of life improvements to make this even better and more fun. First of all, bow and arrows no longer suck and actually do a pretty decent amount of damage. Weapon upgrades have also been simplified to help newbies and make it easier for veterans of the franchise, alongside the inventory providing you with tutorials whenever they are required. You also now have jump attacks and aerial attacks, which make it so much more unique when fighting bosses, as it's no longer just simply parry or dodge. Again, accessibility was obviously a key thought, and FromSoftware have done this absolute justice. Between the fights, I was wandering around exploring every nook and cranny that I could find for the next boss, dungeon or secret to uncover. The world in this game rewards exploration to every fine margin, and it is a joy to wander through. There is a crafting element that is introduced, which means you can now make potions, recipes, different weapons and equipment. You will find that it's required for most items to go around the world picking up berries and extra equipment that you'll find delving deep into dungeons. It's not complex by any means, however it is a great way of adding an extra spanner in the works for replenishing arrows, making health easier to regenerate, or simply making your character level up quicker. If you're not one though for searching for equipment or other items, the world is just a pleasure to soak up and look at. The lands between have a very unique style and are a mix of Norse and Arthurian storytelling, with a touch of Miyazaki thrown in. The life-giving tree hangs over you like a majestic saint. The fallen gods that are seeking ascension and a legion of knights around a literal round table set the scene that is one that is unforgivable. This game is unique in style to other FromSoftware games and is not comparable to any by a country mile. The NPCs and bosses that you will come across are some of the most unique and thrilling that I have ever encountered. I spent hours listening to the different dialogue of these strange beings who will come to your aid, or simply appear to take your blood. There is some of the best and well-designed characters I have ever seen, let alone from a FromSoftware title, even down to the basic enemies which you will come across frequently. All of these have their own attack patterns and unique styles of fighting, yet somehow know how to make you mess up and question their next move. The amount of times that I not only died to boss fights, but also to the most basic of enemies tells you how much time they put into crafting the great AI system that constantly keeps players on their toes. I only really have one issue with the game thus far from my playthrough, and that was a drop in FPS performance. On PC, I am running an RTX 2060 with a Ryzen 5 3600 and was preset to high settings at 1080p with a locked 60 FPS frame rate. I found that certain locations would make the frame rate drop substantially, and this was not random. I found that if you attacked the large horseman from the bottom of the hill towards the start of the game, it would drop frames. However, if they did the same from the back, it wouldn't drop. It is a very weird scenario, and I do expect that this will be updated on the day one patch. To sum up this review in progress, all I can say is that this game so far is a masterpiece and is FromSoftware's best game so far in my opinion. The gorgeous world, enemy design and gameplay make this one of the most accessible and fun experiences that I have ever played. If you are a newcomer to this genre of game, then you are in for a treat, and veterans will be in for one hell of a time. I have so far played 30 hours and I am no way close to finishing the main quest line, as it's looking like a 90-hour plus completion. This game pours buckets and buckets of love and soul from the developers and is an outstanding work of art that will forever be treasured and I expect talked about for many years to come. I will be providing my full review of Elden Ring very soon, so be sure to subscribe down below and ding the notification bell to keep up to date on more Elden Ring content. Thank you again to John for providing me with this opportunity, and to the Tarnished, I will see you in the next episode.